It is likes and dislikes and desires and anxiety which is taking our mind away from the present. Suppose in the ashram we say that the common problem is that when we are meditating, we are thinking of the kitchen. When we are singing bhajan, we are thinking of meditation. And when we are in kitchen, we are thinking that today we did not meditate. That is, whatever we are doing, we are not doing properly, and the mind is going here and there. In pouring water, everybody should have enough attention to pour it to a certain level. The water sometimes overflows, or sometimes it is so little that it is not sufficient. That is, we are not attentive about the person to whom I am serving. Suppose in his plate already so much of vegetable is there. While serving, again we ask that, shall I give it? Next server comes, again ask, shall I give it? Sometimes the person eating will get annoyed that, how many times you will ask? Don't you see that so much of vegetable is already lying on my plate? Another plate, there is no vegetable, but he is asking him rice. Why this happens, this attention, lack of attention? It is only because of the desire. The mind is not in the work what we are doing. Mind is taken away by desire, and desire will be always accompanied by fear, anxiety, or all those things corresponding to that. So when the mind is free from desires, free from likes and dislikes, free from ragadvesha, we say, hatred and attachment, all those things, then the mind, you will find, becomes tremendously efficient. It will be always in the present, and it will function in harmony with nature. We don't have to struggle with any work at all. Suppose often, because our mind is anxious, and so we overdo so many things. Actually, as you grow in this attention, you will find that we unnecessarily do so many things. We don't think back. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you think back how many things you have done absolutely unnecessarily. How many words you have spoken which are really meaningful, and how many unnecessary, frivolous words you have been speaking throughout the day. So everything falls in its place when the mind is free. So to keep the mind in the present is not easy, in the sense that we have made it difficult because of the constantly either loitering in the future, or repenting about the past, or feeling aggrandized about the past. If you have done something great, most of the time you think, I have done this, I have done that. If you have done something bad, sinful, oh, I did all sinful, what will happen? Or in the future, that I will do this, I will do that. I will do now whatever you have to do. That will not be there, I will do. That aspiration part is missing. Purity also. Just start becoming pure. Absorb purity from everywhere. Looking at a pure face, we should be able to absorb purity. This is my own personal experience. When I was doing graduation in Calcutta, in the St. Xavier's College, we had the huge burial ground, Christian burial ground, because Calcutta was the British headquarters at one time. So many of the lords are cremated there. So there are beautiful tombstones over their body, over their burial. So my habit was, it's not habit, my way was regularly in the evening I would go to the burial ground and sit there quietly looking here and there. Earlier I used to go to some cremation ground when I was a child in Jamshedpur. So one day I discovered that you call it tombstone, no? On a tombstone there are two angels, those will be there. Particularly those two angels struck my eyes. It's a wonderful piece of sculpture. I don't know who was the sculptor, or that we don't know, but the face of both the angels, so pure that purity was oozing out, and like tears, purity was falling from it. I had to only look at those faces of the angel, at least one. They have become very old also, little degenerated marble statues. So I used to sit there looking at the face, I used to drink purity from it. You understand my expression? Drink purity. Similarly, looking at some flowers, some of the flowers I can drink purity from there. I used to. So it depends on the aspiration for purity. Not that one day I want to become pure like pure water or so. It's not like that. You are craving for purity. So the moment you see anything pure, the purity comes to you more and more. So that is what is being in the present. That every moment you are living, it's a full living of the moment. You are not thinking of the future and the past. There is a beautiful shloka. Atita ananusandhanam bhavishyad avicharanam audasinyam api praptam jivan muktasya lakshanam. This is also from Yoga Vasishtha. Atita ananusandhanam. Anusandhanam means going after, inquiring and going into it. Na anusandhanam is ananusandhanam. Atita means past. Atita ananusandhanam. Not to go behind the past. That is, I did something great or I did something sinful. Whatever you have done, you have done. Not to go behind that. Bhavishyad avicharanam. What will happen in future also? You need not worry, because future is an unfoldment of the present. As the present is an unfoldment, from the past to the future, it is a causal chain. Whatever is happening, it will unfold itself. So what will happen in future, what I will do in future, well, whether I will become an IT professional or a jhadudar, that need not be thought about at all. Audasinyam api praptam. Then what should be the state of the mind? Udasina. Ut means elevated. Asina means sitting. That means the mind should always sit in an elevated state. Keep the mind always elevated, not fallen. That is the Jivan Mukta Lakshanam. Such a person is called who is free while living. He will not bother about the past. He will not unnecessarily think about the future. Whatever he is doing in the present, he will always keep his mind in an elevated state, and the future will unfold from there automatically. That whole life is an unfoldment. We don't have to fix up a goal beforehand. It will unfold as we are undergoing a change. The future also will undergo a change accordingly. Whatever you are today, did you think about it? Can anybody say that whatever I am now, I had already planned it in my 20 years ago or so? Is there anybody? I am not talking about the profession only. The profession, you may think that I will become a doctor and you have become a doctor. That is not the becoming. Whatever your state of mind, whatever you are, is anybody here who had planned it 20 years ago or even 5 years ago? It is an unfoldment. Our duty is to move properly, to walk properly on the right path.